They started a fire that killed her entire family. That's horrible.
After the recap of what's happening, we're starting to get the culmination of the Acolyte, because I'm sure everyone's itching to know why the Jedi did what they did. And because to hell with the Jedi, they're automatically the bad guys. So you would think, since these creators of this show are so gung-ho about redeeming characters, that they would be understanding to the Jedi's plight as well, right? Not just making them look outright evil, but making everything actually nuanced. However, I'm not getting a lot of nuance from the Acolyte when it comes to the Jedi. The Jedi just seem straight up incompetent, pearl-clutchy, and family breakers. At least that's the way they're trying to spin it. Anyway, let's start and see if we can get some answers to our burning questions that we all have. So we're taken to the past, 16 years earlier. Here we see Sol, Master Indara, Kelneka.
Hey, you shut your face! If we want to hear you talk, I will shove my arm up your ass and work your mouth.
And Padawan Torben. And they do focus heavily on this guy. And I have a feeling, I don't know, that he was gonna end up doing some heinous things or something was gonna go wrong specifically because of him. Don't ask me how I know. He's just, you know, fits the bill of who would be the evil or weakest link in the group of people. Anyway.
I'm not hungry.
It's unwise to insult a Wookiee's cooking.
I don't know about you, but just saying that you're not hungry doesn't equate to you insulting someone's cooking. Like, if you get insulted over someone saying they're not hungry, then man, that's a you problem. He might be depressed. Like, he might have something going on. He might be sick. It didn't occur to you to ask him what was wrong. Well, then again, she knows him well enough, so she knows he's sulking, because of course he is. Out of everybody else in the group, the person who's sulking happens to be him.
I'm just sick of eating Nuna eggs.
I want to know what the frick Nuna eggs is, because Nuna in Korean is sister, so it's like, in my mind, it's like sister eggs. Gross.
I know, but we're on a mission.
We've been here for 7 weeks. And there's no one here, and if we were going to find something, we probably would have found it by now.
I like his accent. He sounds like Butcher.
Big lump of C4, packed right up his fudger. Boom, claret everywhere. Fucking diabolical.
Anyway, they give us some exposition on how the planet was lifeless hundreds of years ago because of some hyperspace disaster. But they've now noticed that Brendok is thriving, so something must be going on. Oh my god. Science.
So there's some plants here. Big deal.
Calm yourself, Padawan.
Wow. It's like the look that your mother gives you after you just let her know that you're a human with feelings and you're not happy about something. And then she's like, careful, because I just feel like smacking a mouth today.
Do not center around your anxieties.
Why is she saying that like she's full on threatening him? Look at her. Bro, does she have children in real life? Because good grief, I would be so, like, I've already experienced that, but still, like, you know, having her as a mom must be terrifying because you mess up once and then she gives you that look with that warning tone. That is a look and the tone that all mothers and fathers give their children when they're about to beat their ass. Like, it just, she's not giving master to me. She's giving, if you don't shut the hell up, I am going to rip you in half and eat each half of you in front of yourself.
But if only I knew that what we were doing was somehow important or meaningful.
We are looking for Abajan's.
Real shit though, like, that, I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be, but good lord. I could use a big ass drumstick of some pork or cow or something right now. I am so freaking, I'm starving. Like, I just want meat. I don't know what's wrong with me, but anyway, that's off. That looks so delicious. It's probably fake, but goddamn, look how it's glistening, bro. Like, oh my god. So anyway, they say they're looking for a concentration of force energy centered around location. And I'm not gonna lie, Torben over here, I hate that they killed him off because he is the most interesting character so far. I mean, we have Kamir, but we all know why everyone's interested in him. But he actually seems like a legit interesting character, but we know now that he's been killed off.
Abajan's could create life, like what we see on this planet. It's a power that should be studied.
So there's nothing else in this universe that can create life, like evolution? Like, I don't understand. What does it mean? Like, oh, it was the speed at which it was created? Because then that would make sense. But they're making it seem as though life on this planet is some other entity, something unlike anything that they have ever experienced. That fucking meat. I'm sorry. Oh my god. What is that? And look at how he's just taking it and he's eating it. First of all, why are you eating meat with a spoon, bro? Let's ask the real questions right now. Because as hungry as I would be in this situation, I hate getting my hands dirty. I really do. I will eat a drumstick or wings or freaking pizza with a knife and fork unless I'm really, really hungry. And in this state in the wilderness after a long days of work, I could see me being like, you know what, to hell with everything, and grabbing the freaking rope of the meat and just chowing down, not even caring, because that's how hungry I feel right now. I know I'm hella projecting, but still, I feel like it's been a while since I've had a good piece of meat. Not human meat, like, that's not what whatever.
My Padawan is too distracted to appreciate the significance of emergence.
Or he's unhappy and he wants to go home, or it's just not his shtick. I mean, do the Jedi ever consider that people have different personalities and likes? He wants to know that what he's doing is meaningful. So be his master and giving some meaning. Jesus.
Nor are we sure that it's the cause of life on Brendok.
It was disturbed. Unbalanced.
You were disturbed. Do not confuse Torben's feelings with your own.
Yo, I hate this chick so much. I love Trinity, but I cannot stand her. Every time this guy makes a comment, she's like, no, that's what you're feeling. Don't disturb what's happening with what you're feeling, bro, because you're the one with problems. Everybody else here, oh, I'm sorry, just me, have everything completely under control. She's so self-righteous and patronizing. It's so hard to watch.
I do not tell him answers to ease his mind. I teach him to seek the answers for himself.
And in what way did you teach him last night to do that? Because we didn't see jack shit of that happening.
You disagree.
His face is like, what are you saying right now? You're freaking weird, bro. What is the point of you even existing?
That's why I have a Padawan and you do not.
Shut up. Nobody cares. You die anyway. So they make a plan to split up. And when Sol goes on a space bike thingy, we see those little butterflies. And he overhears May and Osha arguing with each other that time when Osha and May were at the tree. And look, I pulled up the other episode so I can see a play-by-play how things actually happened. Because now we're seeing things from the Jedi's point of view. So it must mean that there are things that Osha and May might have misremembered, right?
Let it go, May. Stop. Why do you always have to do things like that?
So he follows them, and look, that's where he was when we saw him that last time, and then someone came and took them away. He lets Master and Darren know right away that they're not alone on this planet. And then I swear to you, he follows them for the majority of the first portion of this. Now, what I thought was very interesting was that this place is so heavily fortified, yet this dude can't get the access code. So he looks at the wall, he's like, you know what? Access code where? I can scale that. And he starts effortlessly climbing up the side of it. Oh my God. Honestly, what was even the point of making something this fortified if people can easily just scale the wall? I mean, the kids could probably scale this. I've walked up freaking side of cliffs like this that have walls jutting out like that. It's not smooth enough for it to be impossible for you to climb this. The witches are that smart, but yet they didn't think of that. They didn't think if someone really wanted to get in there, you know? Especially since you have a big old door that is clearly fortified and has an access code and everything, that if someone really wanted to get in and spy on you, that they couldn't just climb the wall. I know it looks daunting, but I mean, it's not impossible. Maybe they figured, nah, it'll be fine. Let's not use the Force or anything else to smooth the walls to make it even harder. And so, Master Sol Spider-Mans his way up the mountain effortlessly and is able to get in there because they have no additional other security inside of this place. And these witches are supposed to be very force sensitive. I mean, the kids are more force sensitive, but these guys are akin to Jedi Master, sort of. At least that's the implication I'm getting. And they couldn't sense him. He managed to get in here and stay hidden this entire time. Now, I know it must have taken a while for him to scale that wall, but still. And that was a sound that we heard when they all got up and were like, what's that? He was with them the entire time and nobody manages to see him. How convenient is this? Did he cloak himself with the freaking cloak from the Lord of the Rings? The Rings power? Like, I don't understand how he was able to get by in this place with all these people so heavily fortified and nobody could sense him. And then what's even funnier, he manages to get out of there and what? Did he walk back out through the door? How did he get back down the mountain? Because I can tell you from experience, climbing up something like this is not that hard if you have the grip strength and you have the endurance. Have you ever tried climbing back down something like this? Because I've done that shit before where I've climbed up stuff like that was easy. Then when it's time to get down, I'm like, well, shit, I don't know what to do.
A force cult here.
I think they're witches.
Night Sisters.
We do not have all the information.
Well, I was thinking more so they were chefs, but that's just me.
Besides, Night Sisters don't raise younglings, let alone train them.
So would you think he's lying? Like, if someone tells you something and you have a long relationship and rapport with this person, why would you just immediately doubt that? I mean, I get it, but if you think that what he's saying is a lie or he didn't see what he in fact said, then he's not fit for this mission, and you clearly shouldn't trust him. Like, if I've been working alongside someone for a long time and this person says, hey, by the way, I scaled a mountain in a matter of like an hour and I spent the whole day with a coven of witches and I saw them training kids. They have kids in there. My first thing wouldn't be, yeah, well, they don't train kids. Like, that's not their thing, even though they're in a heavily fortified mountain where no one can see them and they can hide illegal activities.
They do not treat the girls like children.
We should return to the ship, ask the council for guidance.
I fear for the girls' safety. The witches prepare for a ceremony tonight. What if the girls are in danger?
So Trinity's like, good lord, am I still in the Matrix right now? Because this is not making any sense. And honestly, she doesn't even seem to really care about them, and seems right on par with her personality.
You would defer to the council. But I insist. Come with me. See what I have seen.
Yeah, idiot. That would have been my first thing too. Show me. Show me what you're talking. Do you have any evidence? Because, you know, people in a galaxy far, far away that have the kind of technology that they have, they don't have phones or cameras or anything. So at the very least, go with him. Wait, can he get inside people's heads, or is that a skill that he develops later? Because wouldn't he be able to get in her head and show her what he saw? Or not, whatever. So they break in, and my other thought is they have this fortified area, but nobody watches. They say it's dangerous and, you know, it's safe, but if you had to build up this much fortification, it must mean that you expect at some point in time that somebody might stumble upon you guys. So I would figure people would have a watch or a way to detect if there's any dangers from the outside, but maybe they've become so lax in their comfort that they don't think anything of it.
Jedi!
They've sliced the platform. They will be here any moment.
So from what we saw in episode 3, clearly somebody was watching or knew of the Jedi's presence, but didn't do anything about it to help fortify themselves even further. Maybe because they're Jedi and they're akin to the police, as people were saying, or state troopers, so you can't say anything. But then I'm confused, because in the next moment, even though the mother lady said she didn't want to use violence, she gets inside of Torben's head, telling him that she can give him what she wants, and she uses him as some kind of bargaining chip or something. I don't even know what the point of this whole thing was. Why are you touching him, bro? Ew. Isn't he like a child or something? Or a very childish looking old man? I don't know, but still, something about this just looks wrong.
Do you wish to escape this planet?
Do you wish to escape this planet?
Do you wish to escape this planet?
I can help you.
I can help you.
I can help you.
Your master denies you.
Then she says to ask her to help him get away from the planet. And she says, do what I tell you. And she tells him to kneel, which is what we see him do when his mind becomes completely inundated by this witch. Like, what was the point of doing that? When you told your other sisters you weren't going to use violence, but graping somebody's mind isn't using violence.
Mother Anastasia, you cannot deny that Jedi have the right to test potential Padawans. With your permission, of course.
I don't think her permission matters. Like, it's just, hey, we'll do it whether you like it or not. So Torben feels bad, and Solon and Dara complain about testing the twins. And he's like, I feel like she's meant to be my Padawan. Let's just go upon this group of people that have kids and just take one of them because I feel like she's supposed to be mine.
Her coven will never let her leave. They are so insular, so strange.
They mocked her sister with dark magic.
Ceremonial markings are customary in many cultures in the galaxy.
And I'm glad she pointed that out. And it's not like Indara is saying, hey, you probably shouldn't take this child away from her parents unless we can prove that they're doing something wrong. It seems more of an inconvenience for her. And these arguments don't make any sense.
Ceremonial markings are customary in many cultures in the galaxy.
But Osha did not have one. I worry she's not safe.
I mean, that's great, and I know he has like instinct and whatnot, but your only evidence of Osha probably being not safe is that she didn't have a marking and her sister did. How did they arrive at that conclusion? It just seems very strange to me. It could be that you stopped the ceremony before she got one. This dialogue is weird.
That's true. She may have resisted being marked. There's no way to know.
Why was that their only conclusion? It feels like they're being steered into the writing, like the writers are telling them, you want to think this because this is what the plot is. Go ahead, say it. Yes, it could have been that she resisted being marked. Not that we stopped the ceremony before anything happened, or not that it wasn't her time because she was too young or whatnot, since you don't properly understand these people, or maybe they do, but it could have been any of those things, but you just immediately go to de facto, she's not safe and she doesn't want it. I mean, they did talk to her, so let's give that lenience.
She may have resisted being marked. There's no way to know.
Then who is protecting this child if not the Jedi? I believe she wants to live with us.
Do not confuse what Osha wants with what you want.
See what I'm talking about? She does this the entire time. Like, bro, just because he's trying to make her safe, okay, he really believes that he's doing that. And he's like, I have a feeling based on the body language of the child, let's go with that, right? That she wants to leave with us, that she's not safe, that she's being abused or whatever the case is. And she's like, don't confuse what she wants with what you want. Like, what in the world? If Osha had really been in danger, this is definitely not the person you'd want saving her. Because she'd come there and see blood on everyone, see the child in her state and be like, okay, everything looks great here. Even though you just saw what this witch did to your Padawan with no host bar whatsoever. So they go to test the girls.
This won't take long, mate.
What is that?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I just need to take a sample of your blood. Is that okay?
Ah! That hurt.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
So that was a fucking lie.
So May fails a test on purpose, which they realize is happening, and then they start talking to her, and May unleashes everything, all the information. Just for what we know about May's character and how much she does not trust these guys, and how much she doesn't seem to be into Jedi, you would think that she would keep her mouth shut. I've known kids younger than her that have an aversion to something, and they know when to keep their mouth shut. They're like, I'm not talking to you, I want to go home. But she's like, I'm just gonna give you a bunch of exposition, just so I can make it easier for you to understand what's going on and get my sister. Or if you want to be less cynical, you could think of it as her taking the opportunity to teach them or educate them on what's really going on.
Last night before we entered your home, what was everyone doing in the courtyard?
Ascension.
What is that? Is your marking a part of Ascension? Do you like it? It's very beautiful. Ascension must be very important to include a marking like that.
Mama says Ascension means Osha and I will lead the coven. That's why I have a marking like Mama.
But your children, how can you become the leaders?
I don't know. Mama said everyone must walk through fear.
Oh, how sweet. I guess no one told her to keep her mouth shut about things. It just felt very easily. The way they wrote it, it just felt like a very easy way for the Jedi to understand what was going on. But just from what we see with May's character, it didn't feel as though she would be the one to be all like, okay, I'm gonna just give you everything and be super nice. But then again, kids are easily malleable. That's why people try to take advantage of them. And that's kind of what Indara is doing here to get information out of her. But she didn't have to try very hard. But she did manipulate her by saying, well, your marking is very beautiful. And she's all like, oh my god, now you're speaking my language. I know, right?
Everyone must walk through fear. Everyone must be sacrificed to fulfill their destiny.
And Tara's like, sacrifice? That can only mean one thing.
I'm fucking hungry, okay? What am I supposed to eat?
So May is dismissed, and Master Indara's like, oh, thanks for explaining that to me. And Syl tells her the obvious, which is that she was instructed to fail. Also, notice that when Osha comes in, Tomlin had told May that he was taking a blood sample, but he doesn't do that with her.
Ow. What are you doing?
I was just taking a blood sample.
She's a whole other person, so it would make sense for you to tell her after coming in that's what you're going to do. Also, this is a little nitpick, but I have family in the medical field. 2 are doctors, my mother is a nurse, and one of the things that just gets me about this is taking a blood sample or putting any kind of needle through the clothes doesn't make any sense. You want to take up the fabric, wipe the skin, because if you're taking a sample for something to see what's in the blood, it is possible for you to take up other contaminants if you do it through the clothes or if there's anything else on the skin. Unless this is a future where they don't necessarily need to worry about things like that, and you expect me to believe that, but they don't have the concept of cameras and surveillance?
Tell us what you see.
A spaceship.
Correct. How about this next one?
A mountain.
Correct.
That wasn't a
Did someone tell you to fail this test?
You know, one thing I thought about is, what if they just are legitimately failing the tests, but the Jedi want them to be Jedi so badly to take them from their parents, they're just like, no, she's failing it on purpose. I mean, she did give this up by that mistake, but what if she hadn't? What if May hadn't? Because they were speculating this from May, saying that
May was instructed to fail.
and that might very well be the case. But it would be so hilarious if she legitimately was getting them wrong and they're like, no, she's failing on purpose, and they pass her anyway. So that's when they give Osha the talk about being a Jedi and telling the truth. Indara tells her Padawan to run the girl's blood samples, and she's seeking instruction from the council. And apparently, the news is...
The council said no.
No! So they start arguing because those women were dangerous. You saw what they were capable of. I mean, that's fair, but doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna hurt their own children.
You saw what they were capable of.
You can feel the twins are not safe.
They say that we have interfered too much already.
Will they let us come home at least?
No.
So the only reason this guy was willing to give up saving the kids is if they let him come home. He's like, well, gotta go home, ain't my business anyway. And the Jedi are supposed to be the good guys. So if the council tells them, yeah, those kids are not safe and you have a bad feeling about it because you can sense it through the Force, then don't save them, those kids? Like, I don't understand.
Man, fuck them kids, bro.
But Osha paused.
After you coached her, do not alter this little girl's destiny because you have formed an emotional attachment to her.
That is not what's happening here.
This woman is a real piece of work. If your face was a steak, I would eat it very slowly. That came out sounding so stupid. That's not how I don't know where I was going with that. The point is, bro's head looks like Mount Everest back there. I'm sorry, I'm losing focus. This is what happens. Well, anyway, like, he's trying to tell her, look, those kids are in danger. All of them are stupid. I don't know. I can't take these Jedi seriously. She can feel that the kids are in danger, but she doesn't want to save them. He's like, I just want a Padawan. Something's wrong because they're witches and they can use the Force just like we can, but they're not supposed to because they're witches. And apparently their Force sensitivity is extremely high. But according to Torben, even identical twins wouldn't have symbionts that are exactly the same. It's like they're one consciousness in 2 bodies, and they were artificially created. I mean, how else did you think they were created? So old dude's like, only a virgins can create that type of power.
Father!
So Torben's all like, oh my god, this is a great idea. We can save them.
Torben! Stop!
Don't you see? We just need proof of a virgins, and those girls are the proof. This is our ticket home.
Stop him! He'll knock and I will take the ship.
Wait. Okay. They wanted to stop him. Maybe Sol didn't. Maybe he was just pretending that he did, but Master Indara and Kelneka, between the 3 freaking Master Jedi, none of them thought to use the Force to stop him. He's a Padawan, and if he really wanted to be stopped, and it was really important, and this was as fickle and dangerous as they claimed it was, none of them thought, you know, hey, Torben, if you don't stop, we're gonna stop you, and then they use the Force. No, because that's what most people would do. They would restrain someone if this was really an issue. But they let him get away. They're just like, all right, whatever. Hey, stop him! But then she does nothing to stop him. And something tells me Master Indara would have no problem using the Force to stop Torben.
Torben! Stop!
Stop him!
Bitch, you could have stopped him. You can use the Force. All of you, what in the world? What in the Heaven's Gate basket of freaking spiked Kool-Aid juice is going on here with this writing? I mean, in the stupid bootleg Matrix movie, Trinity has more powers and somehow seems to execute the Force more than she does. In an actual show or production where her using the Force is more than justified. Anyway, after the mother has a talk with Osha, she's like, I love you and you can choose your own destiny. It shows that Sol is on his way to follow Torben. The other mother tells May that she needs to protect her sister, and she kind of gives her a last-minute training.
Then stop her. The Jedi will not warn you before they attack. Good girl. Get mad.
Not gonna lie, other mother over here is a badass. I really like her character. She's one of the rare ones in this show that I actually legitimately like. And the motivations, I guess, make sense because she carried these girls inside of her. These are her children and she's willing to fight for them. And as we were seeing this discussion, I felt like they were talking about something else here.
She is a child. The girl has yet to discover the power she holds. It's not her decision to make.
But is it ours? You cannot allow Osha to go. She has chosen it. It's what she wants.
You would sacrifice our future for the wish of a child.
My children are our future. Her wish must be considered.
Where was this energy the entire time she was telling you she didn't want this? Okay, maybe she changed her mind and you're like, you know what? I'll let you go. But you know who the Jedi are. And in your mind, you're convinced somehow that the Jedi are evil or something, because that's the implication that we're getting from this. And yet you're okay with your child going into the hands of people you think are evil so they could raise her. What kind of mother is this? Like, you're aware of the danger that you're putting her in and that these guys are not to be trusted, but you're like, well, it's her choice and I don't want to get in the way of what she wants, even though you know it's going to possibly be very detrimental to her.
Are our future. Her wish must be considered.
You may be their mother, but you are also our leader.
Right now, I choose mother.
Yeah, but the other mother is not okay with you just giving her daughter away because she's a child and does not know all of the intricacies of what she thinks she wants. It's not that it's bad that she's choosing that, but she doesn't even properly understand what all of that entails. And by that logic, then maybe you should have your child taken away from you. We're supposed to think that that was an inspiring speech or something, but it wasn't. May then says that nobody can get in or out. Okay. Did none of you ask how the Jedi even knew this in the first place? Okay, fair enough. Let's just say they didn't know that Sol was in there, but it never once occurs to any of them that they might try to scale the wall and put somebody to watch or surveil the area. Torben tells Sol that the elevator has been disabled. They locked the girls inside. Do you not remember that he was able to get in earlier? Okay, I'm trying to give a lot of leniency here. Let's just say it would take a long time for them to scale that wall and they don't have time. Let's just go with that.
We're stuck here now.
Follow me.
Oh, my bad. We do have time. We have time for him to be like, bro, don't let them get into your head. And they scale the wall. And we're supposed to believe that they make it up there in time to save the girls. Now, May does set the place on fire. And even if you're going with her dropping the liquid, I still don't think this would catch fire to the entirety of the freaking stone mountain. Unless for some reason in this universe, rock there is very flammable, which wouldn't make sense. Kelneka and Indara go over the mountain. And May sets fire to Osha's book in front of her for some stupid good reason. But oh no, it was an accident because she didn't know that setting fire to something would actually make it set fire. Like, what did she think was going to happen? And now give me the whole, they're kids, they don't understand what they're doing. Bitch, listen. When I was 3 years old, I knew what danger was. And I understand that everyone doesn't develop at the same rate, but most kids know, oh, when I set fire to something, it's going to burn. Maybe she was hoping that it would burn and then she would barely move it so that it could go out very quickly, but it doesn't. And so she drops it and she's like, oh no, I can't get it out. No! Then it just catches fire, but it was an accident and it spreads. What are you doing? Don't worry, you're a child, you have plot armor. Okay, this is made of rock as well. Okay, like the liquid was on the ground and once it burned off all of whatever the liquid was in there. What kind of fire is this? What is catching fire right now? So May's like, oh my God, I'm gonna get my mom. So see, the liquid is there. And if we're going with the liquid being flammable, then technically the fire should be on this part of the liquid as well. It's not for, the fire is like, okay, the fuel, the flammable liquid that spilled on there, I'm just gonna like freaking ignore this because the door looks way more delicious. What in the pizza-shaped nose? They make it up the mountain, Sol and Torben, and the witches are like, nah, son, you're not leaving. We're gonna fight for our children. And here's what I don't understand. I'm getting a headache.
It was foolish to come back here, Jedi.
We come with noble intentions.
You wish to know if we will allow Osha to join you, to be raised by an institution instead of a family.
I find it rich this woman is like, oh, you want them to be raised by an institution instead of your daughter made a choice. You were literally just okay with this a moment ago. Why does every character in the show constantly seesaw with their motivations or their affirmations? It makes no sense. You saying that alone means that you're aware that you're giving your child away to be raised by an institution. And if it's all Osha's choice and she's a child, but she can make her own decisions and she has full agency, and even as a parent, you can't do anything to protect her, then you don't have to have this conversation with the Jedi, basically chiding them about taking her because Osha's making that choice herself. So what are we really upset about right now?
Someday, those noble intentions you all have will destroy every Jedi in the galaxy.
But yet your noble intentions won't? You are super self-righteous with that big-ass Pennywise-looking lollipop all down your head. I like how she's talking about them being self-righteous and noble while you're kind of doing exactly the same thing. So May comes and tells her mom that there's a fire and she needs to help.
Help me!
Doing something and we didn't understand what the hell he was doing or what she was doing, but somehow he's able to move at the speed of freaking Flash while everyone is frozen and kill this witch before she's able to do whatever the hell she was doing. We don't even know what she was doing, but it doesn't matter because he did not know or conveniently forgot that he could use the Force. The mother conveniently forgot that she could use the Force. Everyone just forgot they could use the Force to stop whatever was about to happen. And so Sol kills her because if you see someone erupting into a demonic fart gas, you're probably gonna be like, yeah, this is usually what happens before she gets in someone's mind and explodes them. So he kills her trying to save the girl or God knows what. I don't even know. I'm not gonna pretend to sit here and understand what the frick is going on. But the next line is what kills me.
I was going to let Osha go.
Oh, were you now? Oh, were you really? Interesting. Interesting that you didn't do that right off the bat, or, I don't know, communicate that to them, you know? You did what is essentially just, dude, it's just a prank.
Dumbass.
It's what she wants.
then you should have said that. You know what it's giving? A bunch of people with their guns trained on someone who previously had hurt someone else, and when they reach inside their jacket real quick, you unleash on them because it looks like they're pulling out a gun, and then they're like, I was just getting a pencil. Okay? Don't have the best track record, though, for not using violence and erupting in clouds of spirit and evaporating your child away with whatever was going on here was probably not the best way to do that. So May is traumatized, and she knows it's the Jedi's fault, and this is where her origin story begins. One thing I will say, though, Master Torben is a badass. He's not even a master, but bro is killing it with the lightsaber. And Soul's not fighting back because he feels bad. And she's all like, fight me! While Master Torben is over there breakdancing with the lightsaber. Hey! Damn, that is some good work. That is some nasty work right there. That's freaking hot. I love that. There's one good thing I can say about the show is that this Padawan has better lightsaber work than most people. Like, look at this shit, man. Nice. That's just nice to look at. Just deflecting all them arrows.
Fight me!
I honestly feel really bad for her. She just watched her wife killed in front of her. She's gonna lose her family. And you can see things from her point of view, why she feels that way. And then the very flammable mountain explodes for no reason. Then our girl erupts into a cloud of shadows. And Torben lets her know, yeah, my mind's fortified. Only for her to answer, I wasn't talking about your mind, bro. Then the Wookiee, which is essentially a humanoid version of a wet dog, is being warged into by all the witches and controlled so he could beat up his friends, but they don't want to kill him. And say what you want about Torben, but he is a fantastic fighter. I mean, the dude is fighting for his life. He also had his eye scratched out. And seeing Torben fight, I mean, everything with Torben in this episode, honestly, is way more interesting than anything else we've seen, including the Khmer romance. And at least you see the Wookiee use the Force more than the other Jedi seem to. I mean, it's almost as though, oh yeah, did we forget? People can use the Force, which they rarely ever do in this show. Anyway, Indara steps in, and she starts going into the Wookiee's mind, and she's able to fight off all the witches, which is why we all saw them, like, passed out. Good grief. How did someone this strong end up dying to this? Because she forgot to use the Force to knock this person away while she was also deflecting that. Wow, this is so beneath her. What, did she regress as time went on? Maybe it's dementia, right?
Demented and sad.
So after Kelneka is all like... Indara instructs the others to get the kids. The sisters are calling each other, and this is where Soul comes in and sees the both of them. Now we see it from his point of view. And can you guess what happens?
What have you done?
Do Jedi not have the ability to force focus on people and not objects, you know? He's shown that he can focus his Force on lifting people, so why is it that he chose to focus his Force on the very heavy metallic platforms rather than the girls themselves? I mean, if the story was consistent, then this would have made sense. Unless he does not have the ability at this point in time to do that with very light human beings. He obviously has the ability to do it with much heavier things, but he can't do it with kids? Really? Brother was right there. While he was holding the big platforms up, let's say he's an idiot and he doesn't know that he's supposed to force focus on these girls. He could have been like, girls, get back, you know, where they ran from, get back and hold on to not really? Do these Jedi just not have any brains whatsoever? Right, critical thinking is so important. And I believe that's one of the requirements to become a Jedi, because good grief. All I have seen, even from the Master Indara Cocina scene, they were just making really bad decisions that masters should not be making. And I believe at this point in time he was a master. Okay, 16 years has passed, but the dude is clearly powerful enough to stop heavy platforms. So what, they have to be more powerful to focus on flesh? And again, he could not have used the Force here to lift her. I feel like this was sloppily written for the sake of
plot twist.
He's all like, I got you, girl. No wonder it would appear as if the Jedi are evil when something that was supposed to be very simple is stupidly written. And God bless Squid Games guy, because he's acting his heart out. Also, I know I probably asked this before, but out of curiosity, he very clearly has a very rich accent because English is not his first language. Do languages even still matter out here? I mean human language, like Korean, because we have some people that have the British accents and whatnot, but if he has that type of accent in a setting like this, that would mean that he grew up around other Korean people or people with those accents. So do humans in the galaxy far, far away in the future like this still have very large cultures that are not mixed with a whole bunch of people, which would require them to all speak the same language outside of what other humans would speak? For me, that was more interesting than most of the other things I've seen in this show, because it got me thinking. And if they're just going with him being from a region, then what region does he come from where they sound like this?
Dara, I must face the council.
Why would you do?
You know, these are very valid questions. Like if I went up in there and I was all like, Indara, you see what I did to that little girl? I must face the council. I must atone for my actions. Normal people would be wondering, well, I wonder what part of the galaxy she hails from. Anyway, we see that he's feeling guilt and he's about to turn himself in. But this woman is like, no, you cannot. You've ruined everything. You guys didn't think about the consequences. And the dude said he was supposed to make a choice, but Torben stops them from fighting. And then she schemes. Instead of doing the right thing, she's all like, well, now the child matters, so lie.
We will tell the council the truth.
Yeah.
May burned down the witch's fortress and everyone was lost.
Indara, I must face the council.
Why would you do that to her? After everything this little girl has lost tonight, you take away her dream as well?
How would he be taking away her dream? Are you not like, I don't understand how her dream would be taken away. You seem to have a more superior standing in the Jedi than he does, from what they're making it seem like. So why would her dream just go away when he goes to face the consequences? I mean, it's not like the council isn't gonna know that Osha suffered a traumatic event. I don't know, I'm really confused. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, the writing is just so tumultuous that I can't keep track. So when Osha wakes up, he tells her what we heard him tell her, and he said May started a fire, and that's when the show ends with some weird ass music.
It's gonna be the good part.
And it's a song called The Power of Two, because of course. Now, from episode 3, it didn't look as though this took as much time as it did from his point of view, which has me wondering which is the real memory.
What have you done? What have you done?
That looked like it did not take a lot of time for him to make that choice. He was like, oh, well, I tried. And then he's unable to use the Force. Like, look, from what we can see, when she drops, he does try to use the Force to save her, and it doesn't work because, of course, it doesn't. Why would it? And then she tries to drop, and we see that it didn't look like he was holding her up. But he's like, now I'm going to focus just on her. Oh, nope, my Force isn't working. Oh, well. And now I'm going to just... It would have been so funny if he fell and slipped off the rock trying to save her, and then they both fell. I know I use the word funny. You know what I mean. It would be hilarious.
Help me!
I got you.
Then pull me up, bitch! Excuse me? And our story is close to a close. Coming from the wonderful, salacious mind of none other than... Well, by the way this is going, maybe in the next episode, we'll see Kamir and Osha have a baby or something, but then her sister will come back after bonding with Saul while Kamir and Osha connect. And Osha becomes the villain, and May's like, I was wrong all along. Or maybe not, because Jedi are assholes. Let's run away together after we've killed everyone. And the end. At this point, you don't even know where this is gonna go. Maybe they're gonna end it with everything being fine, or Soul dying, or maybe not. And then now Osha is the one that's evil. But who freaking knows? At least it wasn't fully wet and sopping, like the 50 Shades of Star Wars episode we had a week ago. And tell me where I can get that commentary you guys keep talking about.
Dropping his billowy-legged hakama pants, he steps forward with the sunlight accentuating his taut muscles.
Anyway, if you were being paid a lot of money to write a show like this, or to make the ending make sense somehow, how would you have written it? I look forward to all your Sorry about that. I look forward to all your contributions. Okay, gonna have some meat now.
You pick up your palette knife and then work that into your meat. Give your meat a good old rub. That's it. Nice and hot. Hot and spicy meat. Yeah, boy.